Hey everyone, this is Jyotsna Hegde with NRI Pulse. Joining us today is Sunnie Sudhir Agarwal, who announced his candidacy for County Commissioner of District 5 in Forsyth County, Georgia. Sunnie is well known in the community and needs no formal introductions, but here's a brief intro about his background. Sunnie, or Sudhir as he is popularly known, works as a senior executive in a top IT company. He holds a BTech degree from IIT Varanasi and an MBA in finance and marketing from IIM. Sudhir is the past president of Asia Pacific American Council of Georgia, APAC, where he served 2 years in 2022 and 2023. He is among the top 25 people named by Georgia Asian Times in its annual list of most influential Asian Americans in Georgia in 2016 and 2023 for his community work. Sudhir is active with various social and professional organizations in Atlanta. He was the chapter president of IIT Alumni Association of Atlanta and the Indian Professionals Network. He started an initiative called Sprinkling Smiles with his wife Swati, through which they have been able to donate more than 200,000 meals, including packaged foods, PPEs, and groceries to the needy in US and in India. Sunnie, Sudhir, welcome.
Thank you, Jyotsna.
So let's get right to it, Sudhir. So tell us, why did you choose to run for office?
So, Jyotsna, as you mentioned, and I've been working in the community for more than a decade here in US after coming here. I have been helping people in multiple form, and then I realized that yes, if I can have a position, I would be able to have more impact on people, and I can help them more. That is what I was looking for. My opponent, Ms. Simonson, proposed the 2 years, 2 terms limit in the Board of Commissioners. That means she wanted to serve for 8 years, and that is what she proposed as a in the Board of Commissioners. I was people told me that she is not going to run, and we require a good candidate from the Republican Party to represent us in the district, and that was the reason I said, okay, this is where I can create more impact to the community, and I decided, and yes, I would like to run for the office.
You have IIT, IIM, and then you've really worked so well with the community. So tell us, how do you think, your background sort of would help serve you better as the commissioner?
So, as you said, and having a background in IIT and IIM, the Ivy League colleges from India, where leaders are made, I feel that the corporate experience that I have would come really handy when it comes to designing policies and designing or developing budgets for the county. So I have been working or in the corporate world for more than 20 years. In that 20 years, I have managed multiple multi-million dollar projects. At the same time, I have also done the budget for organizations running into tens to hundreds of millions. So this experience is going to be really, really helpful for me. At the same time, the experience that I have connecting with people, where I'm always available to help people, that is going to be really beneficial.
So, Sudhir, tell us, how has your journey been since you announced your candidacy?
Thanks, Jyotna, for would have an impact on the kids also. The most interesting that I found was somebody told me that you will discover things that you have not done, or something that you are not aware about yourself. I was like, what exactly does that mean? I was like, oh, people create scenarios, people create stories that they will tell about you, which may not be true, which you would discover, and then that's what they posted on the social media. I said, okay. Then I realized, wow, somebody can scare me, or people can scare me when I'm running for office. What would be the situation of the constituents where they don't have any say? The more people try to scare me with the politics, the more I became stronger, and I decided, no, I have to run for my constituents. I have to do the right thing. I have to represent them. That has been my journey. So yes, I won't say like I got scared, but like, yes, I was trying to be scared. I'm stronger now. Yes, I will take it however it comes, and I'm coming out as a stronger person.
So, yeah, as you mentioned, one of the things that you're good at is implementing policy, which also happens to be sort of the primary duty of a county commissioner. So, what part of the county government would receive priority if you were elected?
So I have talked to a lot of people regarding the policies, and the major problem that people are facing is regarding the infrastructure. When I say infrastructure, it is mainly around the roads, the congestion of the roads, because of, I would call it like an unplanned or a rapid growth. I don't want Forsyth County to be like downtown Atlanta, where you struggle to go to your work. I don't want like to travel 3 miles or 4 miles just to hit the freeway. You have to spend 30 minutes or 45 minutes. At the same time, if you see the time it takes to go from exit 13 or 14 or 400 to even like an exit 10 or 11, the time is increasing because we don't have many roads. The infrastructure has not developed at the pace at which the construction has taken place. So that would be my first priority, to make sure that people have sufficient or a good infrastructure before the decisions are made of expanding the county in terms of building new houses or building high density houses. So that would be my first priority. Second thing would be is the right utilization of budget. What I mean by that is, and we can discuss about that. There is a new building that is coming up, which I'm not sure how many of the people are aware of it. It's 114 million admin building to staff around 500 people. Okay, that is a fund that was surplus in the last 3 years, and now that is being used to build what I call it like a Taj Mahal for the admin folks. That, according to me, is not the proper utilization of the county funds, or I would call like the taxpayers' funds in this regard.
So, well, in that case, what would you propose? What would you do with the surplus taxpayer money?
It is people's money. I would say people have to decide how to utilize that money. So one thing is, I would like to have a quick survey to understand how people would like to use that money. They should have a say. There's a process by which you can, when we have the election, you can always ask people without making a decision of spending that $114 million for, say, like around 500 county officials. Even you cannot vote in that facility because it's outside the limit. So I would like to have a survey. I would like to have it in the election ballot for people to vote whether they agree to this building or what are the alternate options that we have it. Once we hear from people, then we decide how to use it. According to me, it should be used more on the infrastructure, and should be used for the recreation facilities, to expand our libraries, to have more amenities for people. That is what it should be used for, instead of having a facility for 500 people costing 114 million. This is roughly like 250K per employee that we are spending. And obviously there is a cost to maintain that building that would be there. And at the same time, you also understand that we are raising bonds for other things that we are building, but more important is those bonds can be paid so that we don't have a debt that is required. There are a couple of projects that were shelved, and the reasoning for shelving those projects has been lack of funds. Just give an example: Matt Community Park, Community Recreation Center, which is, according to me, is more required for people, that were shelved because it says lack of funding. Even the renovation of the Hampton Park Library, that was shelved because lack of funding. Oh, really? We have lack of funding for these renovations and community recreation center to be built in. But yes, we have funds to build a 114 million admin building. That's strange.
So, Sudhirji, what I know you talked about infrastructure. So, do you identify any other major issues that Forsyth is currently facing, and do you have any plans to address them?
So, as I said, like one of the major ones, which has come time and again with my conversation with people, has been with infrastructure. So that would take the first priority. And what I would say is that we should make sure that infrastructure, when I say is more like in our roads, that should be developed before we approve any new communities coming up. Again, based on my experience, you have to do the analysis that how much additional cost that would be added on the road, what would be the impact on the peak traffic. Somebody who buys or who has invested in these in Forsyth County, a lot of people have bought houses with the thought that, oh, okay, we have a great schools, we have a safe and secure environment thanks to our Sheriff Ron Freeman, and his deputies who have kept it safe. But at the same time, they also appreciate the infrastructure that we have it. Now, if you put more housing without spending money on the roads, it is going to have an impact. And according to me, that would be having an impact on the happiness index of that people have. So people would not be satisfied being in Forsyth County. And what I always say is, I would like the residents to be happy. That's what my motive is.
Mm-hmm. So the county commissioners, are also responsible for the county's workforce, right? So would citizens get more effective services at, let's say, a better rate if more functions of the county were accomplished by contracting with private providers? What's your thought on that?
So have contracts for a lot of our development, like in a land development, roads development, all those things are outsourced to, or it's more on the contract basis. But when it comes to the county administrative services, I would like to have the employees working in the county, because it's not about the cost. It is more about you having a comfort feeling with the folks who are there, the admin team that we have it. So that is what I would like to have. I'd like to keep it the full-time employees the way that we have it currently.
Given your background with APAC and all of that, so what outreach efforts or initiatives do you have in mind to ensure that the voice of the Indian American community is heard?
Okay, that's a good question. So I would say is, when I get elected, I would be representing all my constituents, whether it be Indian American, whether it be any constituents, irrespective of any feature that you can talk about. But coming to your specific question on the Indian community, I have been always available for the community. That's what I say. I would make sure that my number is available to everyone. So in case if anybody is having any type of need, they can reach out to me. And when I say that, it's for all the constituents that I have it. I'm planning to have a weekly or a monthly, say like a breakfast with commissioner. That way, people can come talk to me, even understand what is going on in the county, the decisions that we are making, even discuss with me how it would be impacting them. So that is what I would make it as a trend, that anyhow on the ad hoc basis we have, they can call me and I'll be available to answer their calls. but at the same time, there will be a regular connect with the constituents. So that way, if somebody has any questions or would like to discuss something, they don't have to wait for the county meetings. They can just come for this breakfast meeting and get their questions answered.
So your opponent, Laura Simanson, is an incumbent. What sets you apart from her, and why should people vote for you instead of her?
So I have put few agenda items that you would have seen it in the on the flyer also. Is the one is the transparency. I want to make sure that my constituents, in fact, the whole Forsyth County residents, they have a say in how the money is being spent. So I will be more responsible with the budget. Just taking an example of what we discussed before, you had one of the questions was about the admin building, $114 million being spent on a fancy admin building, which may not be required, I would say. Right now, we have sufficient space to house just 500 admin employees. Instead of that, there are projects that can be taken up with suggestion from the constituents, like in widening of the roads. It could be as building more community places where our senior citizens can enjoy or have fun. Those things are the ones that can be developed. At the same time, I'm also running for like an integrity. I stick to what I say. And right now I'm making a decision that there should be a term limit, 2 terms for the county commissioners. We should get fresh people. I am going to stay for 2 terms once I get elected. That's it. And I followed this. I practice what I preach. 2 years, I was the APEC president. Last year, I stepped down because I want new people to come, take the responsibility, and run the organizations. At the same time, like when I was the IIT president, I stepped down so that new people can join and work for it. Apart from that, I'm also against the high density housing. As I was telling before, that before any planning is done or a permit is given for houses, we have to analyze, will the infrastructure be able to support it? When I say it's mainly the roads, we don't want to have congestion on the roads. There has been scenarios where there has been voting for around 1,800 apartments that is not finalized right now for gathering that is coming up. There has been a 295 apartments that you can check it out that has been voted. There was another 265 apartments on a very small piece of land, which makes it the highest density of houses in Forsyth County historically that has been approved. That puts a pressure on infrastructure, which is roads, but at the same time on the school system also. So I would like our constituents to have what they needed, which is a happy life.
Thank you. Thank you, Sudhir, for talking to us today. We wish you the best of luck in all your endeavors and particularly in this run for commissioner.
Thank you.